All right, so good evening, everyone, and good evening. Welcome back. I know that it's been a while, but things are finally slowing down with school. So now I have a little more time to finish doing some research into what's going on internationally and with a possible uptake in World War III. So, welcome back to JPCE Watchdog News. I will be your trusted source for cutting through noise to deliver in depth stories shaping our world today. Like I said, my name is Jared Wesley Campbell, and in today's episode, we'll cover explosive new developments, global alliances, bad policy shifts, and more controversial moves in the corridors of power. Remember to always like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you value critical analysis and also some honest reporting. So let's dive deep into today's stories. So, story number one, we're going to talk about Trump's proposal for European troops in Ukraine. So President-elect Donald Trump has sparked debate with his bold plan for Europe to take the lead in securing a peace deal in Ukraine. This marks a pivot from America's traditionally central role in global conflicts. But here is where it's going to get interesting. Trump proposes that European troops oversee a ceasefire while the U.S. focuses on economic tools like tariffs on China and to also pressure Russia into compliance. On the surface, this is a practical redistribution of responsibilities, but let's peel back the layers. So diving deep. So here's some historical context. Traditionally, the U.S. has shouldered NATO's heaviest burdens, often leading military interventions. Shifting this responsibility could signal a recalibration of global alliances. Let's talk about European readiness. Does Europe have the military and logistical capacity to lead such an operation? Recent spending increases suggest some preparedness, but coordination among EU states is very complex. Let's talk about some of the global risks. Russia's likely reaction to European-led coalition. Right? So what would be their reaction? So what would Russia's likely reaction to a European-led coalition? This will escalate tensions or provide an off-ramp for de-escalation. Critical questions for some of you viewers, right? Could this plan redefine NATO's role, or will it simply expose fractures within the alliance? And how might this approach influence U.S.-Europe relations for us moving forward? Our next story, Israel strikes on Iranian military sites. Keep in mind, this has been going on since October, right? So Israel's precision airstrikes on Iranian military facilities, including a key nuclear weapons research site. That is representing more than a tactical maneuver. They are sending their own strategic message, right? Let's break it down a little more. So here's some deep dive talking points in this. So here's the timing. Why now? Israel's actions come amidst heightened rhetoric and destabilization in the region. Is this a preempted move against an imminent Iranian threat? Talk about a global response. What role does allies like the U.S. play in these strikes? While Washington was reportedly informed, their silence is starting to raise questions. How about Iranian retaliation? Iran has vowed to defend itself. Could this spark a broader conflict? And what might that mean for neighboring states and global energy supplies? I got some critical questions for some of you. Are these strikes a calculated necessity for Israel's security, or do they risk inflaming tensions in an already volatile region? Let you decide. Next story, India's landmark oil deal with Russia. This one's huge. So India's 10-year oil deal with Russia is a masterstroke in energy diplomacy. But beneath the headlines is geopolitical balancing act. What's the economic strategy? India, the world's third largest oil importer, secures discounted crude amidst rising inflation. This deal isn't just about energy, it's about economic survival. Right? So some say, right? Geopolitical tightrope. India is deepening ties with Russia, come amid Western sanctions. How does the new Delhi balance its relationship with Washington and Moscow? Global energy markets. What will this deal have ripple effects on OPEC, global oil prices, and transition to renewable energy? Some more critical questions. Does this deal position India as a future energy superpower, or does it risk alienating Western allies? Our next story. NATO's call for relocating welfare spending to defense. So here's a controversial move. NATO Secretary General is urging European nations to shift spending from social programs to defense. Let's dissect this. So ethical dilemmas. Sacrificing pensions and healthcare for military budgets presents moral questions. Can governments justify such trade-offs? The economic impacts. What happens when social programs are cut? Beyond immediate security concerns, long-term social unrest could undermine stability. Historical perspective. NATO's defense spending once dominated budgets during the Cold War. Are we heading back to that era? Critical questions for some of you. Is it necessary? Is this a necessary step for European security or a dangerous gamble with social welfare? Story number 5. This one's interesting too. Egypt joins the BRICS bloc. Egypt's inclusion in BRICS signals shifting global power dynamics. But will it deliver the promised economic gains? Right? Opportunities. Access to BRICS' new development bank and potential currency diversification offers tangible benefits for the Egyptian economy. Challenges. Competing interest rates with BRICS could limit Egypt's influence. Will the bloc act cohesively, or will the internal divisions emerge? What about some of the global implications? How does BRICS expansion challenge Western-dominated institutions like IMF and the World Bank? I got some critical questions here. Can Egypt leverage BRICS? So can Egypt leverage BRICS to become a global economic power? Or will it remain overshadowed by large members like China and Russia? Story number 6. Israel's presence in Syria's buffer zone. This one's interesting too. Israel's development. So Israel's deployment in Syria's buffer zone raises serious questions about sovereignty, security, and international law, according to some sources, right? Here are some legal and ethical concerns. Israel's actions violate the 1974 agreement. What precedent does this set for international treaties? Strategic priorities. Israel claims this is a defensive move. Listen attentively. So Israel claims this is a defensive move, but how does it align with the broader regional security goals? Simple question. I'm trying to figure that out too. What about a UN response? Can the United Nations enforce this agreement, or does this underscore its limitation in conflict zones? More critical questions. Will this move secure Israel's borders or draw it deeper into Syria's ongoing instability? I think it's a great question, right? Lastly, our last story before we close out. Trump's crypto venture. This one's interesting. So President-elect Donald Trump's crypto venture is already making waves, but for all the wrong reasons, according to some sources. Tyrone partnership. Tyrone's alleged ties to militant group raises serious economic and legal concerns. What due diligence was done here? Regulatory challenges. With the SEC investigating Tyrone's founder, how will this impact the credibility of Trump's venture? Broader implications. What does this mean for the future of cryptocurrency regulation in the US? Is the venture a bold economic innovation or potential nightmare of ethical and legal challenges? Here are some of my closing thoughts. Right? So as we explored some of these stories today, the thread of geopolitics, economics, and security weave a complex tapestry of challenges and opportunities. Whether it's Trump's global maneuverings, Israel's strategic calculations, or the rise of new economic alliances, one thing is clear. The world is changing. The stakes are even higher than they've ever been before. Here at JPCE Watchdog News, I'm committed to uncovering the deeper truth behind the headlines. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you value critical analysis and honest reporting. This is Wesley Campbell, and this has been JPCE Watchdog News, where I dig deep so you can stay informed. So until next time, I love you all so much. Stay vigilant, right? Stay watchful, stay vigilant, right? Love you all so much. I'm going to start getting more into these, and they'll get better as we go. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. Been really busy with school. So hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm trying to make them quick, but with good information. If there was something that you don't understand, leave me a comment, and I can do better on the next script that I do with my research. Thank you all so much. I love you all so much. Have a blessed day, right? I love you all so much.